For weeks, a shadow has been haunting Monday Night Raw. A masked phantom has been stalking the champions, dismantling the visionaries, and leaving a trail of broken bodies in its wake. Every theorist on the internet had a name. Some said it was a returning legend, others said it was a ghost from the past. But tonight, the mask finally came off. Tonight, the asylum doors were ripped off their hinges. It's him. It's really him. Dean Ambrose has returned to the WWE, and he didn't come back to finish a story, he came back to burn the book. The atmosphere in the building tonight was suffocating. You could feel it through the screen. We were in the middle of a high-stakes main event, a match that was supposed to determine the next challenger for the World Heavyweight Championship. The energy was electric, the fans were on their feet, but as the clock ticked toward the final segment, the apocalypse signal hit. The feed flickered, the giant screens went to static, and that low-frequency hum, the sound that has become the soundtrack to our collective anxiety, began to vibrate through the arena floor. The masked man didn't drop from the rafters this time. He didn't come from under the ring. He simply walked through the front door, through the crowd, like a wolf moving through a flock of sheep. He was wearing that same tactical black denim, that same distorted mask that reflected nothing but the fear of the superstars in the ring. The security team scrambled, but they were tossed aside like paper dolls. This attacker wasn't just strong, he was surgical. He moved with a rhythmic, chaotic energy that we haven't seen in this company in nearly a decade. He entered the ring, and for 3 minutes, it was absolute carnage. He didn't use a chair. He didn't use a belt. He used his bare hands to systematically take apart the two biggest stars on the red brand. And then, as the smoke began to clear and the sirens started to wail, he stood in the center of the squared circle. The crowd was dead silent. You could hear a pin drop. He reached up, his fingers trembling with a mix of rage and adrenaline, and he gripped the edge of the mask. When that mask hit the mat, the sound the United Center made wasn't just a cheer, it was a collective roar of disbelief that shook the very foundation of Chicago. The face looking back at the camera wasn't the face of a corporate superstar. It was the face of the Lunatic Fringe, looking more haggard, more dangerous, and more unhinged than ever before. Dean Ambrose didn't smile. He didn't play to the crowd. He looked into the lens with eyes that had seen the trenches of every promotion on the planet, and he let out a laugh that felt like a death knell for the new era. The commentary team of Michael Cole and Wade Barrett went into a complete meltdown. Cole was screaming, "It can't be. He's not supposed to be here. The contracts, the history, it's impossible." But the impossible was standing right there, draped in a tactical vest, standing over the broken bodies of the WWE's elite. Backstage, our sources at Wrestling Apocalypse tell us the scene was pure, unadulterated panic. We've heard reports that the production office was a war zone. This reveal was kept so secret that even the lead writers weren't briefed. Triple H was reportedly seen at the gorilla position, arms crossed, looking like a man who had just invited a hurricane into his living room and was wondering if the roof would hold. Think about the stakes of this moment. Dean Ambrose didn't just return, he returned as a hostile invader. He isn't here for the merch sales. He isn't here for the Hall of Fame induction. He's here because he realizes that while he was away, the inmates started running the asylum, and he's the only one who knows where the keys are buried. The emotional beat of seeing him stand there, looking at the WWE logo on the turnbuckle with pure, unadulterated contempt, tells you everything you need to know about this run. This isn't a nostalgia trip. This is a purge. The fan perspective is a wildfire. If you go on social media right now, the internet is broken. People are crying, people are celebrating, and some are genuinely terrified of what this means for their favorite superstars. One fan's viral clip from the front row shows Ambrose leaning over the barricade after the cameras went off, whispering to a kid in a Cody Rhodes shirt, "The nightmare is just beginning." That is the level of psychological warfare we are dealing with now. This isn't the wacky Ambrose who talked to plants. This is a man who has been forged in the fire of the indies and the blood of the main events. Let's talk about the consequences for the locker room. The Vision faction, led by Bron Breakker, has been acting like they own the place. They've been bullying the roster, taking what they want, and acting like the law. But tonight, they found out that there is a law higher than there's the law of the streets. Ambrose didn't just attack them, he humiliated them. He showed the world that all their visionary planning and corporate backing doesn't mean a thing when a lunatic decides to take your head off. Backstage insights suggest that the legal team is already scrambling. How did he get into the building? Does he have a contract, or was this a literal security breach that the WWE is now forced to turn into a storyline because they have no other choice? The rumor mill is spinning that Ambrose is working on a per-appearance basis, answering to no one but himself. He's a ghost in the machine, a glitch in the corporate matrix that the WWE can't simply delete. The cinematic quality of the final image of the night will be burned into our brains for years. Ambrose sitting cross-legged in the middle of the ring, surrounded by the wreckage of the main event, while the Shield sirens the original, distorted ones played over the PA system. It wasn't a call for a reunion. It was a funeral march for the status quo. He has effectively declared war on the entire roster. He doesn't want the title, he wants the chaos. He wants to prove that at the end of the day, when the lights go out and the pyro stops, he is the only one who can survive in the dark. The pacing of this mystery was a masterclass. For weeks, we've analyzed every frame of the masked man's gait, his height, and the specific way he delivered the Dirty Deeds DDT. We saw the signs, but we didn't want to believe it. We thought the bridge had been burned too badly. But in professional wrestling, the only thing more certain than a betrayal is a return. Ambrose is back, and he has a list of names that probably includes everyone from the top of the card to the guys in the catering line. The humor in the situation, if you can find it, is the sheer irony of it all. For years, fans have been chanting "We want Ambrose" at every show he wasn't at. Well, you got him. But you didn't get the hero. You got the man who wants to remind you why you were afraid of him in the first place. You got the man who doesn't care about your 5-star matches or your WrestleMania moments. He only cares about the sound of a bone snapping and the look of realization in an opponent's eyes when they realize they can't outbrawl him. As we look toward next week's Raw, the questions are piling up like a multi-car pileup. Who is he going after next? Will Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins have anything to say about their brother returning as a monster? And most importantly, how does the WWE Universe survive the Ambrose apocalypse? This is the kind of story that keeps us up at night. The kind of story that reminds us why we fell in love with this business. It's gritty, it's real, and it's completely, wonderfully insane. The story of Dean Ambrose's return is the story of a man reclaiming his soul by destroying everything around him. He is the latest member of the roster, but he is also the most dangerous. The Lunatic has officially taken over the asylum, and the guards have already fled the building. This is what we live for here at Wrestling Apocalypse, the moments where the world stops spinning and all that matters is what happens inside those ropes. So, sound off in the comments. I want to see the Ambrose emojis, I want to see your theories on who his first official match will be against, and I want to know, did you see this coming, or were you as shocked as we were? Is this the greatest return in the history of Monday Night Raw, or is it a disaster waiting to happen for the WWE? If you felt that chill down your spine when he pulled off that mask, and if you're ready for the most violent era in the history of the red brand, then you know what to do. Smash that like button. Let's get this video to the top of the algorithm so Dean knows the apocalypse is backing him up. Subscribe to Wrestling Apocalypse and hit that notification bell, because we are going to be providing minute-by-minute coverage of this return as the fallout begins. We've got eyes on the locker room and ears in the production truck. Would you like me to do a full Shield history breakdown to see where this betrayal ranks in the grand scheme of things? Let me know. Thank you for riding with us tonight. Stay safe, keep your eyes on the shadows, and remember the asylum is under new, very dangerous management. Stay loud, stay wild, and we'll see you in the next one. The apocalypse isn't coming anymore. It's standing in the ring.